Welcome to another episode of Black Man Carpool, number 71. I'm your host today, Blackwax. I got my driver, Zay, in the cabin today. What do you say, Brother Zay?
What's cracking, big dog?
You know, it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I think this has been the longest break we've ever had from recording. And I attribute that to our wonderful, busy, hectic social lives.
I wouldn't call it social lives.
Okay. Work life.
Work life, yeah. It's more accurate.
Work and family life for me. So we just celebrated the Easter weekend, and I had a lot of family in town, and it's just a lot going on in my life. But it was always nice to stop for a minute to celebrate Easter. It's the biggest celebration in the Christian tradition, one of the biggest feast days in the Orthodox Christian community, and so it was nice to partake of the festivities and to break the fast. Mm-hmm. So my church, we give up meat and dairy pretty much for like 48 days, and I didn't do it at 100%, but I did cut back, and I'm happy to be engaging as a carnivore again. But I don't feel the need to eat as much meat as I used to either, so that's probably a good thing. So how was your Easter?
Man, Easter was cool. So I'm not Catholic, however, I do believe in shocking the body a little bit. Yep. So what I did was I gave up bread for I believe 45 days. Mm-hmm. And so I can't wholeheartedly say that I gave up full bread, but I stayed away from burgers and pancakes. I had a little cake once or twice, but again, that's what I gave up. And so Easter, my wife is always very festive. Every holiday that comes up, she just gets in this whole different giddy mood. And so usually when she gets in these moods, she bakes, and that's exactly what she did. So she baked all kind of custards. We had a whole thing of creme brulee. She made key lime pie. She made banana bread, and I'm over here telling her, like, who's gonna eat all this? Because it's not like I'm just gonna binge and just start getting up on all this bread now that I ain't have it for a few days, but that's what she did. She said, well, because I want a piece of everything. And so now we end up potentially throwing it all away. So that's how my wife gets down in regards to baking. So, but that previous day, we had a 5K run in the StockYards. And that was actually a pretty cool experience. And it was kind of, the StockYards has a theme of the Wild West. And really, I never seen that part of Dallas before. And
Fort Worth.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, Fort Worth. And so, once I moved out to Texas, I was expecting a lot more cowboys. However, in Dallas, it's kind of the opposite. It's very much a city town. Mm-hmm. But just to solidify my thoughts, the StockYards were very much old Western, so that was a very good experience. But in a nutshell, that was my Easter. Cool.
Fort Worth is nicknamed or dubbed, Cowtown. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a little bit more Western than Dallas is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you get some of that experience, living in the Wild West. Yep. And Fort Worth. But Fort Worth is downtown. Fort Worth is super clean and it's nice. Sundown Square, and the StockYards is not too far from downtown. Okay. I've never really spent much time in the StockYards, so it's on my list.
Yeah, I mean, and it was cool just to go out there for the day. I can't tell you that I'll be back there anytime soon. However, it was good to see a little bit of the culture of Fort Worth, and it's just nice to get out of your circle.
Right. Right. No doubt. So last night, I went to an anniversary party. Mm-hmm. Our friends Brandy and Stephanie, also known as DJ B-Luv-it and Step It Up, had their anniversary party. Also, Kisha B and what's the fourth lady's name? DD Turner Speaks.
I thought there's only 3 of them.
No, there's 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've added another person, so it's four hosts on the show.
Okay.
4 women on the show, DDBS Radio, and they put on a real good show. They put on a real good party, and their anniversary party was top notch. So I give them a lot of credit. So they had they had signage everywhere with their heads in, like, cartoon shape, and they had a couple of vendors there. They had a chef there who was making some food that smelled very good. They had a coffee vendor. They had looked like they had a wine and liquor sponsor for the event, and then they had some other vendors there as well. So it looks like it may have been like 40, 50 people showed up, and they had all of their equipment, and it was a live show. They record twice a month, like the first and third Wednesday of the month. So they had all the DJ equipment up, all the recording equipment up. They had they had a backdrop of their logo and where they host at Spreaker, and they also had they had like a projector so you could see different images on the screen. So it was very well organized, and you had to get a ticket through Eventbrite, and the tickets were free all the way up to $13 or so if you wanted to purchase a meal, and they all had on a couple of them had on their t-shirts with their logo on it, and so it was a very, very nice party. So I want to definitely give them a shout out for their 3rd year anniversary. From one podcast to another, we know how much work goes into producing a show on a very regular basis, whether it's once a week or twice a month. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and I want to give them a shout out, commend them on all of their hard work and effort. And it was inspirational to see how they record and how they put on events and how seamless they were. And, I know they had a script and a format, but you could tell they do it so regularly that it was very, very seamless. And from what Brandy said, they don't really do. They're raw. They don't do very little editing, kind of like what we do. And so to see how much chemistry they had, how seamless they were, that was very, very inspirational. That's
cool.
No doubt. So they even had cookies with their logo on it.
Yeah.
That was real cool. So we're going to get into some news here. Bill O'Reilly, Fox News, the highest rated TV show on Fox News. The most popular news commentator they have is out.
Yep, I did hear about that.
So Bill O'Reilly has been accused of sexual harassment 5 different women who he says the claims are baseless. But after Fox did their own internal investigation, they decided that it's best to part ways with Bill O'Reilly.
Stay on that vacation.
So the payout that Bill O'Reilly could potentially get could be tens of millions of dollars. Even up to $25 million is what some reports are saying. But ultimately, some people on the left, who Bill O'Reilly is obviously on the right, some people on the left feel like this is just a victory for women who've been disenfranchised, and also for just his political, ideological philosophy on life, who a lot of people don't agree with and differ with. And some of the things he uses his platform as a bully pulpit, so a lot of people feel like this is a talking head that has been ousted, that did not need to be heard anymore. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it is what it is at this point, and I'm not sure what the big I guess what you're saying is a lot of Democrats are celebrating that he's off the air.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, but just it's funny that someone working for a private, I guess Fox is not a private corporation, it's a publicly traded company.
Right.
So therefore they could get fired for something like that. But then you have the President of the United States who does something like that, and the people of the United States elect him as president. And so it doesn't line up with our ethics. And
Trump defended Bill O'Reilly. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah, of course, because one womanizer to another is going to probably stick up for him.
Wow.
However, it doesn't add up. So why could the president get elected with all this stuff going on, and then him get put out, for the stuff that he's doing? And these guys are not the only ones doing it. But hopefully it's sending a message down to people who are doing it to, you better get your act right, or you better stop doing some of this, because, you could be next on the chopping block. So what I think they're doing, I think what Fox is doing is trying to send out a message, because this is not these are not the only, high profile individuals who are doing this type of acts. It happens all the time. However, only few get caught, and in order for the masses to really fall in line, then you really have to punish the people who are getting caught. And so, Bill O'Reilly will be fine. His ego and his reputation may be tarnished for a little while. However, him being a successful man, I can't see why something else wouldn't pop up, and then it's going to be something on the right, that's really conservative and Republican-like and controversial. And but again, they're doing it to set some examples, and so I commend Fox for that. And Bill O'Reilly, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll rise again if he wants to. He'll pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I think if he wants to, he could do like Glenn Beck is doing and starting his own network.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm sure, but maybe it's time to hang him up. Maybe this is a godsend, maybe he's tired, and maybe it is time to hang it up. But if not, if you still got those creative juices flowing in them, then yeah, start your own podcast or something.
Yep. No doubt. So, next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get in. We had a little Politricks talk. Let's get into some sports talk. Aaron Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Star player for the Patriots. Couldn't seem to pull away from the street life.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And for those who don't know, Aaron Hernandez committed suicide. And the day he committed suicide was the day that his team actually went to the White House to be announced or to be congratulated for being Super Bowl champions. And it's just so funny how in life you can make one bad decision and it changes the direction of your whole path.
Yeah.
And so he could have been up there. I mean, before Aaron Hernandez went to jail, he was in the process of re-signing with the Patriots for $42 million.
Wow.
And so as soon as they find out that he, was guilty in all these murders, that's the first step. All this money then went away. And then they mess around and take him to trial for another double murder, and he beats it. But at this point, he's still serving a life sentence, so what's the point? The point is, if he would have still been alive, he could have probably did a few more years and then maybe had the possibility for parole. But as one of his buddies who was talking to him before he died puts it, the guilt just caught up with him, and that's the reason why he killed himself. So it was really heavy on his soul and his mind. And when you get in a dark place like that, it's sometimes people feel that's the only way out. So it is what it is.
So there's another theory, and I haven't read this anywhere, but I was talking to a coworker whose theory is maybe he didn't take his own life, maybe they came for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they murked him in prison or whatever, so, who cares? But I don't think that happened, to be honest with you. I think that, he was a big enough guy to defend himself, and he liked to fight, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, if the whole story isn't told, then if a group of guys went in there and jumped him and hung him, I'm sure you'd see a couple people in there, beaten, bruised up. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering why they don't have cameras in some of these jail cells. I don't get it. Like, if he really did hang himself, then, let's see the tape. But, I mean, it just sounds so backwards to me that you wouldn't have not only a physical eye on an inmate, but also a virtual eye on the inmate, too, to see really what happened. Because if there's no camera in that cell, then who knows what happened? And maybe he did go in there, and a few guys went in there and whooped his tail and hung him, for the murder that he committed. But who knows? But what I do know is he's dead.
Yeah, he's
and what I do know, he would never been in that position if he would have just, probably just settled down a little bit and maybe just not be such a hothead.
And we haven't heard much from Aaron Hernandez. He didn't really speak out, but I get the impression that everyone that plays professional sports is not really motivated or driven by money or the opportunity.
Yeah.
They're in it for other reasons.
Well, it's the status. You want the girls, you want the money, you want the homes and cars. You want people to know that you play for the NFL, and this big, Range Rover on 28s with the system bumping is me. And so, sometimes people feel invisible. And they're over there comparing him to the O.J. Simpson case. But the only fact of the matter is that O.J. beat his, and Aaron didn't. And Aaron's dead, and O.J. probably thought about committing suicide a number of different times, but hasn't done it. But yeah, once you're always gonna get used to the money. No matter how much money that you're making, you'll eventually get used to that if you end up having it long enough. So the idea behind it is really to give back and add value to people. However, with most football players who are stingy, especially in their up and coming years, they want that status, and that status is what feeds their ego, and then they become this totally different person. And that's what happened with Aaron Hernandez. After his dad died, he started seeing success in football. He gave him some money, and now he felt like he could dabble within guns and let his ego fly around along with fists and everything else, and he messed around and got put in prison, and now he's dead.
Yeah, so from what I've heard, he was involved in the street life, as a teenager in Connecticut, and then he went to Florida, got involved in the street life while he was in Florida, still a star athlete, came back to the, Foxborough, Massachusetts area, got back right involved with the old homies in street life. And I guess, some guys look towards sports as a way out, to get out of that life. Mm-hmm. It looks like he just got deeper into it.
Yeah, and I don't think, and they all say it started when his dad died. So, with his dad dying and so much success coming his way, he knew that he was going to make it out of wherever he was. I don't think he even grew up really in the ghetto. And maybe he did grow up in the ghetto. I take that back. But it wasn't like he was in dire straits, because he's always been a big dude and a good athlete. Mm-hmm. And so at one point in time, he was roommates with Tim Tebow. And, on the field, he was fine. But outside of the field, he really wanted to be that other dude. Mm-hmm. And that other dude doesn't last very long. Mm-hmm. For anyone who want to run the streets, sell drugs, pop guns, and act like that's where it's at, you don't last very long.
You remember Nate Newton for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
His alter ego is he wanted to be the biggest weed kingpin, dope kingpin in the U.S.
Yeah. Why? Why? I mean, really, if money wasn't attached to it, why would you want to do it? You want to poison your community, and you want to kill people, but instead of entertaining people, you'd rather kill people than entertain them. And so, just like
ego,
just like that other guy that got popped out here in Dallas, Sam Hurd.
Sam Hurd played for the
he played for Chicago. He played for Dallas. He's over here pushing weight, and he's a freaking football player. Yeah. So I think a lot of, and really, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for any of these guys. because of the fact of you had the opportunity.
Yep.
You had the opportunity and you squandered it.
On a massive scale.
And it doesn't take rocket science to figure out that this opportunity may not ever come your way ever again.
Right.
And when you feel like that, and when it does get snatched from you, sometimes you end up like Aaron Hernandez.
Yep. That's a tough blow.
Man, it's reality. I think sometimes people get caught up in the hype and everything else and think the opportunity is just going to be there for a lifetime. But it's not. You have to seize the moment and make the best of it. And when you take opportunities like that for granted and you still want to hustle and you still want to be down with the women and you still want to be down with the drug dealers and everything else, then you're going to find yourself being treated like them too. Mm-hmm. In jail and everything else. Mm-hmm. So you are who you're associated with.
People who have money, lots of money, I've heard this said on a number of occasions. Money amplifies who you really are.
Yep.
So if you're a giver, when you get money, you become much more of a giver.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a saver, when you get more money, you become much more of a saver. Mm-hmm. If you're a spender, when you get more money, you're going to become much more of a spender.
Yeah, the limelight is really on you, and it really does show your true colors. So if you ain't real, then it's going to get exposed.
Yep. So I think at the end of the day, it's always important to be rooted and grounded and have some strong values.
Yeah.
That could potentially outlast any given opportunity or any amount of money.
Well, in my opinion, it's about surrounding yourself with the right environment.
Yep.
If you want to have a successful marriage, you surround yourself with individuals that have successful marriages.
But you gotta have your value, your personal value system.
Yeah. So your personal value system has to be there.
Yeah.
You know, because just because you hang around successful couples or whatever, don't mean that you're gonna be if you want to be out there running the streets and doing your thing. It just won't work. But yeah, so your values have to be in line, and then surround yourself with people who value the same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he valued that street life. He wanted to go out there and do his thing, so he surrounded himself with guys who were around and felt the same values, except for they didn't have the money that he did. You know, he was like a Suge Knight.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to run stuff. I want to be the boss. I want to be respected not only on the football field, but I want to be respected outside of the football field.
Yeah, he had a lot of people fooled. You know, It was reported that Robert Kraft, was duped.
I mean, I think it was a total surprise to individuals that did not know him personally, and to hear of all the stuff that was going on outside of the football field, because he put in such a great work ethic on the field.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people that have double lives, man. So yeah, I hope we don't have to see this anymore, and from people who have this level of opportunity. It was just a sad day. Whether you were a fan of his or not, you just don't want to see someone end like that.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So, segue to our last topic, Swag Buck survey of the day. So yesterday there was a survey. There's a new coffee that's coming out. It's called Clear Coffee. CLRCFF. No vowels. Okay? Clear coffee. No vowels and no color. This is a clear coffee. So if you go to clearcoffee.com with no vowels, you'll see a bottle of a clear coffee.
So is it supposed to drink it cold or hot?
That's a very good question. So it looks like you're supposed to drink it hot, but it's the first of its kind and it's been processed differently than any other type of coffee. And so I was interested in the survey to see what the results were. 28% of the people don't drink coffee, so they pretty much eliminated. 29% of the people said, yeah, I'll give it a try. And 42% of the people say, no, I'm good. I like my coffee as is. So you can probably guess what percentage I was in, or which category I was in.
I'm going to choose you try it.
I was in the negative.
Really?
I'm not going to try it. Yeah.
I would have tried it if it was for free.
Okay, well, I guess you're in the 29%. You're in the minority. I am in the majority on this one. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a while. I'm going to wait I don't know if I've ever tried it. I would sample it, but I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of new things as long as I don't have to deal with mayonnaise.
So, how does one get clear coffee? I'm gonna read. Clear coffee is the first colorless coffee drink in the world. This refreshing beverage is made from high quality Arabic coffee beans and pure water. It is produced by methods which have never been used before. Due to this combination of technology and high quality ingredients, a drink has been developed which is unique in taste and flavor. Our products do not contain preservatives, artificial flavors, stabilizers, sugar, or any sweeteners. If you're looking for a refreshing coffee, but you want to keep your smile white, then clear coffee is perfect for you. So
I would like to know these techniques that they're using.
Exactly. So I'm still skeptical because you're not just disclosing what these techniques are, these methods.
Yep.
So that's interesting. I'll be looking at some YouTube videos, see if there's any brave souls out there tasting it and see what the results are 3 months later.
Yeah.
See if they lose their hearing or something.
I doubt it'd be like that. And even if they did, boy, there'd be no more clear coffee, but someone's getting a fat paycheck, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I saw it at a Walmart or whatnot, I might pick up a bottle just to try it. But, maybe, who knows, it could change my life. But if I don't take that step, who would know?
You keep your teeth white, huh?
Yeah, keep your teeth whiter. That's help. But yeah, interesting.
Or you can drink coffee with a mouth guard.
Or with a straw.
Yeah, there you go. There's many alternatives. So this has been another episode of Black Men Carpool. We got a new tagline. Classic barbershop talk in the whip. You can find us at the usual places: iTunes, Facebook, Mixcloud, Google Play. And we want to thank you all for listening. Thank you for all for hanging out with us. Please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And I almost forgot, man. We got to give shout outs. I don't have any shout outs. You got any shout outs?
Man, I've been seeing so much negative news.
Yeah, we got to do something positive.
No shout outs this week for me.
All right, so next week we're going to have at least one shout out between the two of us. All right, so peace and blessings. We out.
Peace.